To the latest move in the escalating social media wars. It's finally here. Meta's Threads.
Meta threatened to launch a Twitter killer 3 months ago, and now it's here in the shape of Threads. Threads, which saw over 30 million signups in the first 48 hours, has seen many celebrities and brands jump on board. But what is Threads? How is Threads different to Twitter? And the key question, is it better? Here's how it happened.
Big news today. We are launching Threads, an open and friendly public space for conversations. It takes the best parts of the Instagram experience and creates a whole new app around text, ideas, and sharing what's on your mind. You just sign up with your Instagram account, you have your followers already there, and you can just get into it and get started. And it is available on the App Store now. The people who've tried it out so far, the reactions have been really great. And I am looking forward to the fun journey ahead to turn this into the kind of big and friendly community that I think we all want to see in the world. Alright, looking forward to seeing you all over there on Threads.
Despite it being new, it has a very similar look and feel to Twitter. However, Meta have the advantage of 2 billion users who could instantly sign up, versus Twitter's 250 million user base. Now that we know what Threads is, we have the question of why did Meta launch Threads? What's the point of all this?
Well, Threads is off to a fast start, leveraging Instagram's reach to quickly onboard users.
As before, Meta has a user base of 2 billion people, so it's possibly a way of gaining additional engagement from that user base, which could lead to greater revenue when Meta decides to launch ads on Threads, although apparently this won't happen for the first 12 months. This is particularly helpful as Meta's ad business has faced some challenges over the last few years from Apple's app privacy practices. It also might just be an attempt for Mark Zuckerberg to challenge one of his big rivals in Elon Musk, who he is scheduled to fight later this year. For now though, it's just the apps battling each other instead. The Threads app closely resembles that of Twitter, similar to how Instagram Reels copies the look and feel of TikTok. There are pros and cons though. On the plus side, Meta are actively pursuing the idea of a decentralized platform. We're committed to building support for ActivityPub, the protocol behind Mastodon, into this app. We weren't able to finish it for the launch, given a number of complications that came along with a decentralized network, but it's coming. If you're wondering why this matters, here's a reason. You may one day end up leaving Threads, or hopefully not, end up deplatformed. If that ever happens, you should be able to take your audience with you to another server. Being open can enable that. What's worse though? Well, it might be too early to tell, but one early concern is that once you set up an account according to Meta's supplemental privacy policy, the only way to close your account and deactivate is by deleting your Instagram account altogether. Some users are also concerned about how much data Meta will collect, like location, search history, and contact information. Less of a concern, but maybe a flaw, is that you can't send a message to other users on the app. As Adam Mosseri, the Instagram CEO, said, "We have not built yet another inbox and instead let people send threads to other apps. It's also missing a following feed, GIF support, full web support, post editing, translation, hashtags, and the list goes on." It's still early days though. Is Threads a true threat to Twitter? That is the key question in all of this. Twitter is clearly vulnerable, having to limit the amount of content that users can see because of scraping by AI companies. Meta is hoping they can kickstart the app solely with the amount of Facebook and Instagram users who might seamlessly move across to try it. It'll take some time, but I think there should be a public conversations app with over 1 billion people on it, said Mark Zuckerberg in a Threads post. Twitter has had the opportunity to do this, but hasn't nailed it, and hopefully we will. It's not about getting people signed up, but about keeping them engaged once they're on board. Threads is not struggling with onboarding either, gaining 1 million signups in 1.5 hours, and gaining 5 million signups in the first 4 hours. But Twitter won't give up without a fight, with a new CEO, Linda Yaccarino, claiming Twitter is irreplaceable. "We're often imitated, but the Twitter community can never be duplicated," she said. However, until Threads can be accessed by the European market, as it's not yet available in the EU because of the Digital Markets Act, it's still missing a large chunk of its potential user base. And Meta have to be careful to avoid the pitfalls that Twitter have struggled with, like spam, harassment, and fake news. But Twitter and Elon Musk have responded straight away, saying that Threads' timeline as a closed-source, algorithm-only system means you get an undetectable manipulation of what people might see. Musk's lawyer is also considering launching a legal challenge. Specifically, Mr. Spiro, his lawyer, alleged that Meta had hired dozens of former Twitter employees who had and continue to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information to develop what they're calling a copycat app. Twitter intends to strictly enforce its intellectual property rights and demands that Meta take immediate steps to stop using any Twitter trade secrets or other highly confidential information. Perhaps Meta have launched Threads at the height of Twitter frustration, and it might lead to an amazing take-up and interest. Or maybe it's just another social media experiment designed to absorb all of your free time in exchange for all of your personal information. The irony is that a lot of the conversation about Threads is still happening on Twitter, where Threads was trending on Wednesday evening. This grudge match is no doubt set to continue for months and years ahead. For now though, we'll have to wait until Elon and Zuck get into the ring to figure out who the real winner is.